So today we will discuss the facial nerve. The facial nerve, which is the seventh cranial nerve, it is a mixed nerve having both sensory and the motor, arising from the four nuclei: the motor, sensory, parasympathetic, and the gustatory nucleus. This motor nucleus, it lies deep to the reticular formation of the pons, deep to the reticular formation, and the part of the nucleus which supplies to the upper facial muscles or the facial expression, it receives corticonuclear fiber from both the side of or both the cerebral hemisphere. And the part of this nucleus, the motor nucleus which supplies to the lower part of the facial expressions, it receives corticonuclear fiber from the opposite side of the cerebral hemisphere. The parasympathetic superior salivatory nucleus and the lacrimal nucleus, and below to the motor, the nucleus of Tactus solitari, which is gustatory. The nucleus or the fibers of the facial nerve lies in the lower part of the pons. It moves laterally forward and passes through the internal acoustic meters. Here it lies medially to the eighth cranial nerve, that is the vestibulocochlear nerve. In the meters, it lies in the groove, that is the vestibulocochlear groove. This is the eighth cranial nerve, that is the vestibulocochlear. This is intermedius. This is sensory nerve to intermedius, motor, and having in contact with labyrinth basals. These are the basals. Then further in the meters at the bottom or the fundus of the meters, it's having three parts: first, second, and the third part, with two sharp bend. With two bend. The first one is the very sharp bend. It lies above to or the anterior superior to the promontory, and the part where it lies known as genu, and the name itself suggests the geniculate ganglion is present. The geniculate ganglion, which is the sensory ganglion. Then lower to the meters or the petus temporal part of the temporal bone, the two fibers, motor and the sensory, they join to form the trunk. And this, the facial nerve trunk, it passes through the foramen. This is stylomastoid foramen. And extracranial cords, it gives posterior auricular branch, another one is stylohyoid branch, and the third one is digastric. So digastric, it supplies to the posterior belly of the digastric, then the stylohyoid muscle, this is stylohyoid branch, and the posterior auricular to the auricular muscles. Another one, then it passes through the posterior medial of the parotid gland and emerges through the anterior border of the parotid. This is the parotid gland. Emerges through the anterior border of the parotid gland and sends 5 branches. These are the 5 branches. One is temporal, then the zygomatic, then buccal, mandibular, and cervical. So these are the 5 branches emerge through the anterior border of the parotid gland. Above to the stylomastoid foramen, 6 mm above, it gives the chorda tympani. Chorda tympani that moves upward laterally and emerges through the this is the temporal bone, this is the petrous part, tympanic, and the squamous part, petrosquamous fissure. The petrosquamous fissure. So it passes through the petrosquamous fissure and it joins the lingual. This is the lingual nerve. Lingual, which is the branch of the mandibular, posterior region of the mandibular. This is the trigeminal ganglion. It's having 3 branches: ophthalmic, maxillary, mandibular. So this is the division of the mandibular nerve. So it joins the lingual nerve and supplies the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. So the chorda tympani, it sends the secretomotor fiber, the secretomotor, this is the preganglionic to the submandibular ganglion, and the postganglionic fiber, they supply to the sublingual and the submandibular gland. It also receives the gustatory from the taste bud, the gustatory from the anterior 2/3 and to the nucleus of the tractus solitary. Inside the meatus, it gives the greater petrosal nerve. This is another nerve which is for gustatory one, not the gustatory, this is the secretomotor one. So arises from the superior salivatory and the lacrimal nucleus. It passes through the greater, this is pterygoid canal, the greater petrosal nerve, so the pterygoid canal, along with the parasympathetic through the deep petrosal nerve, arises from the internal carotid artery or the internal carotid plexus. They passes through the pterygoid canal and the pterygopalatine ganglion, which is present in the pterygopalatine fossa. This is the parasympathetic ganglion. So preganglionic fiber through the greater petrosal nerve lies in the pterygopalatine ganglion, and the postganglionic fiber, this is the secretomotor postganglionic fiber that supplies to the nasal gland, then the soft palate as well as the lacrimal gland. Another one, the sympathetic and the gustatory without relay, it supplies to the lacrimal, nasal as well as the soft palate. It gives gustatory to the nucleus of the tractus solitary. Another branch, this is the nerve to stapedius. It also arises inside the meatus. So if we move with the course of this facial nerve, the two fiber, anterior, this motor and the sensory, the facial nerve, arises from this lower part of the pons, then moves to the inner side, internal acoustic meatus, then emerges to the stylomastoid foramen and supplies to the muscles, facial muscles, through the posterior auricular, styloid, digastric and the 5 branches in the parotid gland. These are the spatial visceral efferent. Another one is the parasympathetic part. So through parasympathetic part, through the greater petrosal as well as the chorda tympani, it gives secretomotor fiber to the lacrimal gland, nasal gland, then this soft palate as well as the sublingual and the submandibular, which is the general visceral efferent. Another one, the spatial visceral afferent, from the anterior 2/3 and the nasal. This is the palatine, the taste bud of the palate. So this is spatial visceral efferent from anterior 2/3 of the tongue as well as the palate. It gustatory to the nucleus of the tractus solitary. And this is regarding to the facial nerve.